Interest rates are rising, but have you done the math on how little that actually affects you in the grand scheme of it all? Let me break down a few graphs and visuals to help you really understand, the impact of interest rates and the bigger picture of all this, so that we can use data over drama instead of using our emotions and feelings to buy houses. Let's assess what's really going on here so we can make smart, intelligent decisions. Because usually, what I've found where fear comes from is lack of knowledge. So let me give you the knowledge to show you that this is still a good market. It's complex. It's not that hot and that crazy in Wichita, at least. It is complex, and there's a lot of scenarios surrounding it, which is all the more reason you need a professional. I'm Ben in Wichita, Kansas, a local realtor. If you have anybody that's looking to buy or sell, please reach out to me at the links below on my website, or get a hold of my team. But I also have a good amount of videos just on the whole real estate process, local Wichita, all that. And if you could, please like, comment, subscribe, share. I'd greatly appreciate it. Let me go ahead and get into the bulk of the content. I'm going to share my screen and just kind of show you things, because I'd rather just show you and kind of explain, facilitate, and guide than sell and tell and all those other things that you typically see a lot of bad salespeople, realtors do, which we're not really salespeople, but we get lumped into that a lot. But the first graph I want to look at is kind of both of these visuals showing the impact of rising mortgage rates in Wichita, Kansas, because this gives you about an idea of like the size and price home you'd be buying in Wichita. If you're from outside of Wichita or you're from Wichita, this is typically the price points we're regularly dealing with, from 180,000 to 260,000. On average, that's kind of about the price range we do a lot of business in. And it might seem like a shock to go from 3% interest rates to 4.75. But again, what we look at, kind of like a financial advisor in this whole equation, is how well does this fit with your total life goal objective you're trying to pull off? Does the monthly payment still make sense? Do you still need to buy a house because you just got married, you have kids, you need more space, you're downsizing, whatever it is that your life goal is? We really take the time to understand you, individualize it all, personalize, customize it all, so that when we get down to the nitty gritty of helping you with the numbers, we understand what we're matching the finances in the real estate market to for your personal life situation. And so if you look at this $180,000 house at a 4.75 interest rate, it's $938. But even if you went all the way up to 6%, the difference in your monthly payment would be $1,079 on this. So really, what is that? That's like $120 $100 in the difference. So really, it sounds like a big difference from 4.75 to 6%, but really what we're talking about is $100 a month difference. Are we going to let $100 a month difference hold us back from getting the house of our dreams, starting our family, getting a bigger space for our kids, all these things we work hard for? And it's very easy to get scared on the fear and the sensation that the headlines send to everyone about, oh, interest rates are rising, the market's crazy, oh my gosh. But the truth is, like, it's only $100 a month difference at $180,000 price point. You can get a lot of good house in Wichita for $180,000. Even if you jump up to the $260,000 range, again, we're talking about a $200 difference there across the board. And obviously, the lower you go, the less of an impact this has. The higher you go, the more of an impact it has. Where I do see this having a significant impact, which we don't entirely have displayed here, is on the 300s, 400s, $1,000 houses. But that's only if you're entering the market to buy those for the first time, because typically, if you're buying those houses and upgrade from selling your house, you're going to have equity to transfer over, and you're going to be seeing about the same $100 to $200 a month bump in payment here. That for most people in Wichita and most Americans who are doing well, that $100 to $200 a month in the grand scheme of all isn't that significant of a difference in their monthly payment of what they can or can't afford. Because the thing is, regardless of interest rates, the taxes on these houses stay the same, the insurance stay the same. I know those things aren't included here, but what I'm showing you is the cost difference of the cost of money. It's $100 or $200 a month. It's really not that significant. It's not going to kill the economy. It's not going to crash it like people are thinking. And I think when we look at the visuals and we look at the data and don't use drama, we can make a much better assessment of everything. So hopefully this helps you see it visually to understand it better. I know for me personally, and most humans, when you learn how they operate, we believe what we see, not what we hear. So hopefully by seeing this, it kind of helps you break down and see the difference in the math of what we're actually doing here. So there's a couple of visuals trying to give you an idea. It's really not that big of a bump. There's a few other visuals I was wanting to go through. to give you that kind of idea, I think at the time of this chart that was made, yeah, this was back in March 31st. It's now April 21st. Rates are probably closer to 5.125, depending on your credit, loan product, those type of things. We could see them getting up to 6%. But yes, obviously, in fact, mortgage rates are rising and everything. But this is a really good graph to keep into perspective. From 2016 to now, they've all been like, yeah, it's been kind of a dip and valley situation. But back in 2016, a lot of people are buying houses, weren't concerned about the economy, weren't concerned about any of this stuff that's going on right now. We had a health pandemic with COVID that affected a lot of these things drastically, but it was not a financial pandemic that impacted everybody's bottom dollar. Because the truth is, as long as Americans have jobs, are making money, and the cash flow of the economy is going, the market will be fine, interest rates will fine. But these graphs just kind of help you realize, like, it might be a change from where we were at, super freaking low over here up to here, but in all reality, like, it's still cheap money, it's still cost effective. And again, as long as it fits your total life goal, that's all we're looking for really here, is to make sure that, you know, we're putting you in a strong, solid financial position for the long haul. Or if you are looking to sell in like 3 to 5 years, we're making sure we can pull that off in 3 to 5 years. Because the truth is, kind of the rule of thumb we look at, if you're not going to live there for 3 years or longer, you probably don't need to buy a house. You should rent. If you're going to be there for 3 years or less, you should rent. Like, that's where renting makes sense. Renting isn't the end of the world on everything. And historically, we've seen the people that do the best in real estate is the people who sell on approximately every 3 to 7 years. Buy a good house, take good care of it, be in the right neighborhood, let it appreciate, sell it, cash out, move, get to a different house, do the same thing. And that's how you really make strategic market moves in real estate with your personal residence. That's a whole nother video subject for another day. One of the good things about this, though, that we're seeing, if you are looking to buy, one, the interest rates aren't going to impact you as much, but also we're seeing more listings coming to the market. So we're getting more inventory. So in a lot of ways, what that's going to do is calm a lot of this craziness down, and we can start to do more of what I call regular, normal real estate deals instead of offering everybody their firstborn child to get a house type of situation. I think everybody is ready for that. But we're seeing that, especially in Wichita, more listings coming to the market, more options, more things that we can pull off. It's still very complex. It's still very difficult, still very complicated. All the more reason why you need a really solid, knowledgeable, professional realtor that does this full time, who doesn't just wing it and just trying to take advantage of you for as little amount of work for as much amount of pay. But this should give you an idea of more active listings coming to the market. Just another visual showing more new listings than active listings. You kind of saw how recently we would launch listings, but then they'd get sold, launch, get sold, launch, get sold. Well, now we're starting to see that start to shift a little bit, where we're starting to see more listings come to the market. But there's going to be more of them than active ones, if that makes sense. So here's the biggest silver lining of it all, because some of you might be like, oh, interest rates, buying right now is crazy, prices have increased, yada, yada, yada. All that is true, but here is what you're really looking at that most people are not taking into account, is the future appreciation of a house that you would buy. What is the gain? Because a lot of people look at the cost of all this, but again, you got to realize this is an investment. This is unlike any other shopping, buying experience you have. You don't get discounts on real estate like you do every other consumer commodity product, because those aren't investments that go up over time. Real estate, when purchased well and held for a long enough time, is one of the safest, best investments you can make. And what often gets overlooked is the amount to gain here for the cost of what you're buying, because it's not really a cost, it's an investment. An investment, when you look at them, it's paying now to gain more in the future. And not to mention the fact, like, you got to pay money to live somewhere. You're either paying rent or you're paying a mortgage for your own. I mean, even if you're renting, you're paying your landlord's mortgage. So you're paying a mortgage regardless. Might as well be paying your own, take care of your own, doing what you want, not have to deal with, landlords and other tenants, neighbors in your apartment complex, what have you, just all the different pains of not owning your own home. And then also, it's a smart financial decision to get this appreciation. For most Americans are going to be building their wealth through their personal real estate. And that's where we really set you up long-term for that. We're not thinking from the standpoint of just wham, bam, let's get them in a house and see them later. It's more, we look at this as kind of like your long-term strategic advisor for your personal real estate, how that fits in with your life goals, how that fits in with your financial goals. And let's take a look objectively at these interest rates and these numbers and the market, so we can make smart, confident, strategic decisions, not frantic, panicked, flying by the seat of your pants decisions like you see a lot of amateur, lackluster realtors do. But anyway, hopefully that helps you understand a little bit more interest rates, the current market dynamics. I got more videos on here about the current market, how to pull things off right now, working with us. Keep in mind, I am a local realtor in Wichita. If you want help buying or selling, we're more than happy to help you. Follow one of the links below and keep watching our content. Please keep supporting us. We appreciate you watching as always, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you soon. See ya.